Hello and welcome to Teamer Field in Berwyn, Pennsylvania. My name is Gabe Eisenberg. I'm here alongside Toby Dieterle, and it's time for Thursday night lacrosse. This boys PIAA varsity lacrosse action is between the Conestoga Pioneers, who are hosting the Garnet Valley Jaguars. Toby, what can we expect from this game? Garnet, a strong team coming in here. Conestoga looking to defend their home field. What's in store for us tonight?
I think we're going to look at a pretty close game, and if maybe not on the scoreboard, we'll have to see, but definitely in competition. Conestoga is a strong team. We've seen that in our broadcasts here before. They have home field advantage, but I'm not sure how that will stack up against Garnet Valley, another very strong team. I think at the end of the day, regardless of how good individual players are, it's going to come down to teamwork and the team chemistry as a whole and how they can tie that together to make plays and get those points on the board.
Your starting goalies are Joey Daku for the Jaguars and Mikey Johnson for the Pioneers as the teams head to midfield for the start of the game.
And that goaltender position is so crucial in games like this. Regardless of how good your whole offense is, if your goalkeeper can't keep those balls out of the net, you're going to end up in a deficit. So both those players are crucial for their teams respectively.
That's right. A big save is worth just as much as a goal. And we will get underway. It'll be Holt McGinn and Gavin Rossello on the face-off, a pair of number 22s. To take this opening draw. And we are off. It's loose. McGinn comes up with it. He's checked. He's rushing up the field. McGinn comes in and shoots, and he scores right away. Not even 10 seconds into the game, and Holt McGinn makes it 1-0 Conestoga. He catches him off guard, catches the defense napping. No one stepped up to him. He had a wide open lane to walk in and shoot and score.
Yeah, Conestoga using that element of surprise right off the face-off, no time to waste, and that's going to be huge. Going to give some strong momentum to Conestoga super early in the game, just 8 seconds in.
And we'll be right back where we started with another face-off, and McGinn wins it again. This time, he's triple-teamed, and he gets it to Gunnar Flesher, who's taken down, and now ground ball picked up by Garnet. In the backfield, Cleaver gets it over to the goalie, Daku. Long pass ahead. Connects it. Now Garnet brings it up the far side of the field. Garnet looking to set up on offense here. They get it behind the net. Now they've got their cycle going. It's with Drew Donahue. He gets it over to Luke O'Donohue. He passes right back. Donahue makes a move. Moves in. Lane taken away. He gets it back to O'Donohue. Now passing over to Brandon Krause, and now they go back to behind the net.
Yeah, I think Garnet Valley really feeling the pressure of that Conestoga early goal. They have to try to get out of this deficit early.
O'Donohue lost the ball. They got it back. Donahue has it. He's guarded by Noah Urich. He spins, dumps off to O'Donohue. Garnet just playing catch here, looking for that perfect shot. Conestoga keeping them out of the middle, keeping them to the outside. Now 35, Cam Woolard comes in, and Mikey Johnson comes up with the ball. Conestoga will have another offensive chance here. Charles Pulliam moving in, shooting, going wide with that shot. But another instance of Conestoga having an open lane to run through and shoot on offense. Garnet's going to have to stop them from getting that because, as we've seen, if you give them that, they'll score like on that early opportunity.
Yeah, I love Conestoga's explosiveness. We've seen 2 of those things where they have an open lane and they're not afraid to take the opportunity with the pace they need to catch Garnet off guard.
Here's Laird Manifold shooting, and it's saved by Dasu. It's loose in front of the goal. Goalie picks it up. Passes it up ahead to Clayton Turner. Turner, long pass ahead for Gavin Rossello. Now they've got it down low. Taking time, looking to set up. Ethan Potachar has it.
And just like their offense, Conestoga has a really strong defense, and we're seeing Garnet Valley struggling a little bit with that. Like, their pressure is really strong and hard to get past.
They're they're cycling the ball around well, but they haven't been able to break into the heart of Conestoga's defense. Donahue looking to get in, kept out. Oh, nice move there, but the shot broken up. And now the second chance opportunity goes way over the net. That was Ethan Potachar with the shot.
Yeah, loose ball was scooped up by Garnet Valley, but just couldn't connect that shot.
Donahue has it again. He's pestered by Wade Belinsky. Now Potachar behind the net. Looking for the pass in front. The shot, and they score. Number 27, Jackson Snyder, knots it up with 8:08 to go in the first. And Conestoga's defense will falter. Garnet finally able to break through.
Replay coming in here. We're seeing Garnet Valley has some sharpshooters on this team. Didn't have a lot of real estate in the middle right near the goal, but that didn't stop them. Still slotted that shot in.
Just a snipe there from Snyder. And he's able to bring this back to a tie game. Another face-off, this time won by Rossello. Luke O'Donoghue rushing upfield, dumps it off, ground ball. Garnet's to it first. Brandon Kraus with it. Now Potachar again. He will find Cam Woolard, who will slow things down. And they'll go back to the cycle. Now he finds a cutting man. That was Matthew Pinot, but Johnson able to make the save and handle that chance. Johnson joining the initial rush here for Conestoga, coming way out of his net. And now he'll retreat back as Whit Lukens brought it upfield. Whistle blows. Looks like we got a timeout.
Yeah, Conestoga called a timeout there. I'm wondering what they're saying in the huddle. You know, we saw that insane performance at the start, got an early first goal, and overall really good pressure. Same with Garnet Valley. You know, they put up a great performance, keeping up the pressure on Conestoga's defense, and eventually they were able to punish a small mistake. Now the scoreboard's even, and, you know, there's a lot of room to work with.
We'll see what kind of adjustments Conestoga wants to make coming out of this timeout. They've had a lot less sustained offense than Garnet has. Garnet's had those long cycling opportunities down low, one of them resulting in a goal. Conestoga, their successes came off the rush. But we'll see if they decide to settle it down here and if Garnet will give them the same leeway that they're giving Garnet down low on their side.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. We've seen how well Conestoga has performed with the limited possession they've had, and I think if they can get a longer handle on that ball, we can see a lot more success from them.
If they have better shot selection, then they could make this 2-1.
I'm trying to fix the leg in the camera because it's down.
And so here we go. Henry Mayer
I fixed it.
gives it to Charles Pulliam. Now here's Brian Ford back to Mayer. Mayer's going to make a run with it. He'll peel off. And he gives it to Laird Manifold behind the net. He's pestered. They'll get it back to Brian Ford. Now Mayer again. Mayer with a spin move. Finding Pulliam. Back to Meyer. Behind the net here, that's Liam Donovan. And they get it back out. Here's that cycle. Conestoga working the cycle now. Garnet playing a little more aggressive on defense than Conestoga was down at their end. And now a whistle, and it'll be Jaguars ball. Now here's Cam Woolard bringing it up quickly, looking to get an opportunity here as the Jaguars are making some substitutions. So it'll be back with Drew Donahue, the quarterback of this Garnet Valley offense. Cycling again.
Yeah, I like the patience from Garnet Valley. They're taking their time in a good way, looking for the right opportunity and not wasting their possessions.
Conestoga not playing too aggressive, not really biting on anything that Garnet tries to throw at them. Keeping their formation very well. And on that Garnet goal, they were just able to snipe it past the defender and past the goalie. Donahue looking to distribute the ball a bit here. Now Woolard gives it off to O'Donoghue. Moving in, back to Donahue. Tries a spin move on Meyer. Now back to Woolard. Woolard fakes, long pass, and they'll take it behind the net with Potichar. Potichar to Donahue. Spin move, nice move by Donahue. His shot will bounce over the net. And it'll be out of bounds, Garnet ball.
Yeah, Potichar serving as a nice playmaker there at the X behind the net.
Woolard moves in, shoots and scores. Making it 2-1. Able to get just enough separation from the defender Pulliam to get that shot off. And he fires it past Johnson to make it 2-1 Jaguars. Garnet very patient, kind of lulling the Conestoga defense to sleep. And then a burst of speed and a great shot makes it 2-1 Garnet.
Yeah, again, none of their goals have come from crazy close proximity. A lot of them are some longer range shots, which have proved to be very accurate and very dangerous for Conestoga.
And off the face-off, McGinn fell down, and now a bunch of players in the middle getting at that ball. Gunnar Flesher comes away with it, the LSM, and he gets it over to Noah Urich. Noah Urich will bring it up, and he dumps it off to Holt McGinn. Now Stoga gonna settle it down. Brian Ford down low for Henry Cook. Now Manifold behind the net. Stoga cycling again. It's back with Ford. And Meyer.
We're scratching at that 3-minute mark left on this first quarter. I think Conestoga might be feeling the pressure to even that deficit.
Ford just unable to get past the defense of Luke O'Donoghue here. And they'll have to pass around again. Now McGinn moving in. McGinn gets past his defender. Shot is not on target, but Conestoga keeps possession. Liam Donovan with it. Donovan curling around the net. Defended well here by Clayton Turner. Now looking over the top. Meyer couldn't get to it. And that'll be Conestoga ball after Brian Ford was taken down illegally.
I like the pressure that Garnet Valley's putting on Conestoga. They're giving themselves a lot of space on defense. You know, keeping up pressure far away from the goal, really keeping Conestoga at bay.
So now Meyer behind the net to Donovan. Donovan spin move. Looking for a pass or a shot. He moves in. He's chopped down by the defender, Rosello, and now scooped up by Meyer on the ground ball. Conestoga able to keep possession. Meyer fakes the shot, gets it down low to, that was Donovan. Now it's back up high with Ford. And McGinn will just take his time here. He'll get it over to Pulliam, who re-enters the game now. Lost the ball. Whistle blows, Conestoga keeps possession.
Yeah, apologies for the scoreboard discrepancies. It's actually just 2-1. Only a 1-point lead for
Nice
Garnet Valley.
evasion there by Ford, and he's got his lane. Moving in now. Ford shoots and scores! Brian Ford ties it up. Again, exploiting the holes in the Garnet defense, finding that lane and just moving up and scoring with a great shot, putting it past Dasu. And for as aggressive as Garnet's been when Conestoga cycles the ball on those rushes, like we've seen on both of Conestoga's goals, they've just given the shooter a whole lane to move in and shoot. No one's came out to challenge him. So if Conestoga can find opportunities like that, they'll keep scoring.
Yeah,
Other than that, Garnet's playing really strong on defense.
yeah, the pace on these Conestoga drives, kind of crazy, you know, not giving Garnet Valley a lot of time to work with.
So now McGinn looked to have won another face-off, but nice hustle by Donahue to get it back for the Jags. Now Ethan Cleaver up the other side of the field. He'll slow things down. Excuse me, that's Cam Woolard, number 35, with the ball on the far side of the field. Now cutting in and shooting was Jackson Snyder, but Johnson with a big save there to keep the score tied at 2 with under a minute to go in the first. Johnson will move way up out of his net again, helping out on this offensive rush here. Now here comes Luke Meyer. Gets it behind the net to Henry Cook. Cook kept out of the middle, and he'll get it up to Pulliam. And now Henry Mayer has it. Mayer gonna rush in. He'll shoot, and that shot looked to be either deflected or just misfired as it goes through the football goalposts. But Conestoga will keep the ball.
Yeah, just 10 seconds left.
Donovan looking to get a shot here. He's taken down. That's a ground ball out to midfield. Flesher. And they're just going to let it time run out here on this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, really strong performance from both teams. We saw Conestoga with that crazy fast first goal in the first 10 seconds. Then conceding twice to Garnet Valley, but coming back for the 2-2 score at the end there. Great performance from both teams. I really like the pressure, especially on defense from both teams. Conestoga forcing Garnet Valley to take some wider shots, and Conestoga able to weave their way through the opposing defense for some more close proximity shots. You know, both teams have different methods, but they're doing great regardless.
And the biggest adjustments would be for Garnet to be more aggressive on Conestoga when they cut in and shoot. And for Conestoga, their biggest adjustment will just be to withstand the checking of Garnet Valley. They've been the better checking team here so far in this game. And some of Conestoga's players have paid the price, taking some falls, getting chopped down.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty brutal near that Garnet Valley crease. Conestoga will have to keep up their physicality, but again, we don't want to go too far. You know, if they go past that legal limit, some fouls and yeah, could really mess up their game.
And Garnet does have the size advantage in this matchup here. A lot of smaller players on Conestoga's offense facing off against huge players on Garnet's defense.
We got a strap in there.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely still has not stopped them, though. Conestoga putting up a great performance, getting their own 2 points on the board, just like Garnet Valley. And especially towards the end there, they're having more possession, which I like to see. I think at the first few minutes of that first quarter, Conestoga had a little sparing possession compared to Garnet Valley, but you know, they got themselves some time with the ball, and they are able to capitalize on that.
And the best thing about having the ball for Conestoga is that it means Garnet doesn't have the ball. The more time they can spend down in the other end of the field, the less time they have to worry about these sharpshooters on this Jaguar team. And so we're getting set for the face-off to start the second quarter. This time it's McGinn and Ben Golt. And Golt, the face-off guy, looked to have won it. They're battling for it. Golt will push it ahead, and it's picked up by Potachar. Potachar moving in, gets it to the back corner. And now O'Donoghue caught it on the run, but will stop and dump it off to Woolard. Now back with O'Donoghue, gets it over to Donahue. Just playing catch with it. Down low to Woolard. Back to Donahue up top. Donahue makes his move, dumps it to Woolard. Woolard will cut in, moving around the top. The catch, the fake shot, he gets in, and that low shot from Potachar will score. Great moves by Potachar to fake the defender, and the low shot getting it past Johnson.
Yeah, we're going to see a replay come in here. I like that shot selection from Garnet Valley. Great playmaking in general, good ball movement. It's tricky, as we've seen, to get past that Conestoga defense, but Garnet Valley did a good job of that. That final shot just sneaking under or past the leg of Conestoga's goalie. Tough shot to defend, and, you know.
With how accurate these Garnet Valley shooters are, it's important that they're kept to the outside. And that time, Potachar able to fake the defender significantly and have a nice lane to move in and score.
Yeah, definitely a well-deserved third point from Garnet Valley, but Conestoga's looking to respond here.
Now Woolard with speed up the field. He'll stop at about the 30-yard line on the football field, and he'll give it over to Drew Donahue again. Garnet will cycle. Donahue cuts. Now Woolard. Woolard passes in. Couldn't be received by Brandon Krause. And now battle for it. Conestoga will come away with it. No. Good stick checking there by number 14, Parker Williams, to keep it with the Jags. Now they'll settle down again. They say patience is a virtue, and Garnet's patience has earned them 3 goals here so far. See what happens on this opportunity here. Donahue passes up to Kraus. Now Woolard spins off a check, back to Kraus. Woolard will move up. Cutting side to side, his pass will not find Drew Donahue, and Conestoga will take over possession. An unforced error there by the Jaguars, and Conestoga's glad to get the ball back here. Meyer nearly slipped, and he'll get it back to Johnson, the goalie. He gets it over to Gunnar Flesher, and now Stoga moves up the field. Nice move there by Luke Meyer to get around the defender, but it's whistled for a timeout, Conestoga. This is their first offensive opportunity in a while. Coach will want to go over some things to see how they can capitalize on it and maybe tie this game back up. Toby, what do you think Conestoga has to do if they want to tie it up here on this offensive chance?
I mean, first of all, just keep up the good pressure we saw in that last play. They're really keeping Garnet Valley's offense at bay. They didn't have a lot of wiggle room, not a lot of mistakes either to be punished on. But same with Garnet Valley, their pressure was outstanding. We saw Conestoga being pressured back almost to their goal. So both teams, really just keeping the pressure on, not letting the other team have a lot of room to breathe, which I really like. And, you know, we're not too far into the game, but soon enough, stamina will start to count. Subs might have to come in when players get tired, but that hasn't happened yet, but we'll have to see how that plays out.
And now they break the huddle. After the last timeout, Conestoga came out with a completely new offensive strategy, and it worked, getting them their second goal. We'll see if they can repeat that again and try to catch the Jags off guard here with this next chance.
I mean, as I predicted before, this is a really close game. Only a 1-point deficit for the Pioneers on the scoreboard. And as far as play goes, both teams are putting up a super strong fight.
So now Manifold arcing behind the net. Gives it to Cook. Cook to Ford. Now McGinn. Pulliam. Down low for Donovan. Stoga cycling here, not making any runs at the teeth of the defense, and Garnet giving them room. Conestoga just passing back and forth. Now Ford will move in. Ford spins, keeps going, bounce shot, will bounce over the net, go out of bounds, and it's Garnet ball.
Good idea from Conestoga, though. I mean, we've seen that work really well for them. Those drives inside to get, close to the goal has worked for them before. That time the shot just a little too high.
And Ford took his chance but wasn't able to get anything out of it, and now here come the Jags. Ryan Wilkins gave it off to Billy Kraus, and now Cam Willard has it. Gets it to Ryan Wilkins. Now Pinot. Now it's with Kraus. Back to Pinot. Pinot to Willard, back to Pinot. Garnet getting their cycle going here.
Again, they're not feeling no pressure from the scoreboard. You know, they're up only by 1, although it's not a lot, not too much of a safety net. They still have the merit to play a little slower.
And now a nice double juke there by Podachar. His shot goes out. Garnet keeps possession. Kraus. Back to Wilkins. Back to Kraus. Kraus makes his move up to Podachar. The shot, the bounce shot, saved by Johnson with the stick. Great save there by Mikey Johnson to keep this a 3-2 game. Now that pass, way too far. Garnet intercepts it. Here's Williams. Gives it to Willard. Settle it down again with Kraus.
A crucial mistake there for Conestoga. They need to get more possession, especially when they're down by 1. They can't let Garnet Valley have any more time with the ball than they need to.
Podachar behind the net, defended by Flesher. Gets it up top to Wilkins. Now Podachar again. Podachar moves around the circle, and that shot will score. Brandon Kraus fires it home, making it 4-2 Garnet.
We'll see a replay come in here as Garnet Valley secures their 4th point. I mean, again, really good shots from Garnet Valley across the board, and they don't need to get too close to execute them. Overall, really good. That's going to set great momentum for Garnet Valley, but at the same time, it's not looking too good for Conestoga. Only 5 minutes-ish left in the half, and 2 points to deal with. Not a huge deficit at the moment, but if it grows, it could mean trouble.
Garnet with a lot of good moves on that opportunity. Conestoga is going to have to clean up to stop them from getting chances like that. And now McGinn with speed upfield. He's pestered there by Michael Medici. He gives it to Polio. Back behind the net to Cook. Now Manifold. He'll slow it down. Gives it to McGinn. Pulliam couldn't hang on to that pass. He'll move around a defender, and he's tripped up. Flag flies. And it looks like we might have our first man-up opportunity of the game.
Conestoga has a good opportunity here. They need one at the moment, down by 2 at the moment. Not a huge lead to deal with, but still definitely significant.
Excuse me, there's no man advantage for the Pioneers. They're working the cycle quickly down low. Behind the net, that's Donovan. Now Manifold, back to Donovan. Manifold with the shot. What a save there by Dasu to keep it 4-2. Now ground ball, everyone fighting for it. And it'll end up with the goalie. He'll send it long downfield off the stick of Flesher, and he is pushed down. Stoga ball.
It looked like a push from behind there. And again, as we were talking about at the beginning of the game, the goalkeepers are so crucial. Garnet Valley, Dasu doing a great job keeping the ball out of the net and saving their team from a lot of stress.
And a huge save there from Dasu. But Conestoga with a faster passing cycle looking to exploit that. Manifold lost the ball, picked it back up. He's pestered, gets it up to Pulliam, now McGinn and Ford. Ford gonna make a run. He stops, gives it to McGinn. Pulliam trying to make a move, lost the ball, checked there by Michael Medici. And now Garnet with a rush upfield. Whistle blowing, we got a timeout. Jags taking their first timeout of the game. 3:28 left in the second.
Yeah, I mean, we're approaching the second half. We still have a few minutes to go, but not a lot of crazy room to work with, especially as the pace has slowed down a little bit. Both their teams taking more time, trying to make the most of their possessions as they should. But yeah, I'm not sure how much room there will be to fluctuate the scoreboard before this half comes to an end, and Conestoga has to do something about that. They're down by 2 right now, though not a huge deficit. Garnet Valley has double their points, which isn't looking too good.
And for Stoga, they're getting checked pretty well down low by the Jaguars. They're going to have to fight through those checks a little harder to get those opportunities that they had earlier in the game. And their shots, most of their shots have not been on target. And you know, for as good as Dasu is, they've proven that they can get it past him. So if they get their shots more on target, they'll have a better chance to get back in this game.
And we've seen them really work really well when they're up close and personal with the goalie, you know, off those quick drives, catching the other team off guard. Obviously, if they can keep doing that, that will really give them a great advantage, playing into their strengths. But again, not an easy thing to do with the Garnet Valley defense.
So here's Woolard. Now Potachar. Potachar curling around. Bounce shot will go out. Garnet's ball. So Woolard now on the goal. Reverses direction. Checked hard, lost the ball. Johnson coming out to get it. Johnson now way out of his net, and a flying check there from Woolard. It'll go out of bounds. Garnet takes the ball back.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, great checks overall, especially stick checks from Garnet Valley, really keeping Conestoga at bay.
Woolard looked in for a cutting man, and now Johnson comes up with a huge save on Luke O'Donoghue. We've seen Garnet try that strategy with the guy cutting up the middle, but the passes have been behind the cutter. And so now ground ball, midfield, picked up by the Jags. Nice evasion there by Potachar, dumps it off to Donaghue. Now they'll slow it down again. Everyone's standing still as Garnet makes some subs. Here's Snyder. Down low, Kraus. Swing it around up to Donaghue. Now Brody Orr making his first appearance. Orr cutting in, dumps it off, Kraus. Kraus up high. Potachar faked the shot. Nice move there, Potachar. And a big check there by number 9, Luke Meyer, to stop Brody Orr from getting a shot off. Orr with a great positioning and opportunity for a shot, but a big check.
Gonna see a replay of a save.
Potachar's lethal with his fake shots, and a great, looked like a one-handed pass down to the freshman Orr, who, as I said, took a big bump and wasn't able to get his shot off.
Yeah, I mean, great performance overall by the Conestoga defense. They're down just by 2 and still keeping up a really great defense, keeping Garnet Valley on their toes. Again, stopping so many of these possessions, Garnet Valley, I think, has dominated in terms of ball time. And I think if Conestoga can secure themselves some more time with the ball, some more possession, I think they can be more successful.
Spin move there by O'Donohue. A retreat behind the net again. Makes his run, turns and fires over the net. Jags keep it. Kraus up to Snyder. O'Donohue again. Timeout, Jaguars. 23 seconds to go. See if they can get one more shot off here with this limited time left in the first half. Toby, what has been the story of this half so far?
I mean, first of all, what an opener. Conestoga scoring in the first 10 seconds. Really, put a great start to this game. Then Garnet Valley following up with 2 goals of their own. Conestoga finding the tying goal to end it up at 2-2, and then Garnet Valley getting their next 2 goals. So overall, it's been pretty back and forth. Garnet Valley at the moment in a better position on the scoreboard, but I think overall pretty close game. Yeah, I mean, Garnet Valley has been keeping up some great pressure, always on the counterattack, if not the attack, keeping Conestoga at bay, not giving them a lot of room to work with. And as we're seeing now, Conestoga is struggling a little bit with points, but 2 goals, as we've seen from Garnet Valley, is not too much to do. Just 23 seconds left in the half. Anything is possible at this point. And then after that, we have another 25-ish minutes of play.
That'll do it on the first half. Garnet Valley leads Pioneers 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, overall, great performance from both teams. That's going to be the end of the half. Final score, 4-2. Conestoga finding themselves in a deficit and Garnet Valley in the lead. That's going to be it for the first half, and we'll catch you guys here back at TETV for the second.
ball in this square over here for a minute.
No, open it! Oh my god, it's so zoomed in. What did you do?
I was zooming in on Garnet. The pickleball. Turn 2. Wait, hold on. No, I'm listening. So stiff. I need to move that.
The winner for the elementary school division is Kate Porkery from Devon Elementary, 3rd grade. Winner of the middle school division, Luke Mickle, 7th grade.
Hello and welcome back to Teamer Field in Berwyn, Pennsylvania. My name is Gabe Eisenberg. I'm here alongside Toby Dieterle, and we're getting ready for the second half of this boys PIAA varsity lacrosse game between the Conestoga Pioneers and the Garnet Valley Jaguars. The Jags with a 4-2 lead coming out of halftime. Toby, what did we see in the first half?
I mean, a really strong performance from both teams, especially from Garnet Valley putting up 4 points on the scoreboard. Conestoga responding with some really strong defense and 2 goals of their own. Garnet Valley obviously coming out on top on the scoreboard, but yeah, it doesn't speak for the entirety of the game.
And now Conestoga won it off the face-off. Henry Meyer had it, but Garnet checked him down low and got it back. It's Ethan Podachar. He'll give it to Luke O'Donohue. And now Drew Donahue, the main distributor of this Jaguar offense. Brendan Kraus gives it back to Donahue. Donahue makes a move on Meyer. Gives over to O'Donohue. He's held up. Now they'll give it to the X. Podachar up to Donahue. Podachar looked open for a second, but Donahue not able to find him right next to the goal. They'll cycle it around.
Yeah, again, Garnet Valley has the luxury of time here. They're up by 2. Not maybe looking to waste time, but they definitely have time on their side.
And Podachar was wide open in the middle, but he wasn't able to get a shot off. And now they score again. This time, Drew Donahue with a jumping low shot. A high to low, puts it past Mikey Johnson.
We're going to see a replay here of Garnet Valley earning their 5th point. Again,
And
coming off that save.
yeah, good initial save by Johnson, but not able to clean up the rebound. Garnet scoops it up, makes it 5-2 with 10:36 to go in the third.
Yeah, I mean, a tough save to begin with, and saving a second shot with so many defenders in the way is twice as tricky. Good
So
play
now,
from Garnet Valley.
Off the face-off, McGinn with a stick check, but not able to wrestle it away from Ben Golt. The Fogo for the Jags.
Quick stoppage, real quick, but I mean, overall, we've seen some great play, especially from Garnet Valley. Conestoga was keeping up that pressure, but Garnet Valley's offense was able to just put their own pressure on Conestoga, shot after shot, and eventually one got in. It's going to be a 5th point for them and a 3-point deficit for Conestoga. Again, it wasn't looking too bad at the 1 or 2 mark, but as it starts to grow, it's not looking too good for them.
They've got to start matching these Garnet scores. It's now 3 unanswered for the Jaguars, and Conestoga's got to get some momentum back in this game before it gets out of hand.
Looks like we're getting back into play here soon. But again, we're still very, very early into this second half. Less than 2 minutes in, so a lot of room to work with. Definitely not the end of the story for Conestoga.
But first they've got to get the ball back. They haven't had sustained possession really at all here in the third quarter. And the Jags go right back on offense. Cycle around up top. Nice move there by Brody Orr. Gets it to Snyder. Back up top to Orr. Now Potachar. Potachar, nice move. Down low. That shot blocked. The shot by Ryan Wilkins eaten up by the defense before it reached the net. And now Conestoga may have a chance to move upfield. Here's Jackson Foster. Gets it down low to Henry Cook. Now Luke Donovan. Sorry, Liam Donovan. Now it's with Brian Ford. Over to Charlie Pulliam. Conestoga settling down. Henry Meyer moving in, and he'll give it back to Donovan behind the net. Donovan gets sent, whistled down. Garnet takes possession back.
Yeah, that's going to be a big hit for Conestoga. Although no point conversion, it's going to be one less possession they can use to get one back.
Now here's O'Donoghue.
Just take it.
Over to Potachar. He's been dangerous all night. He's got a great pump fake that he's used to burn these Conestoga defenders a few times so far. And there's a spin move, but Ford was not having it. Now we'll give it to the X. Cam Woolard. Now a nice catch, spin, and shot by Drew Donahue. But Johnson coming up with a huge save on that one. And now a long pass upfield for Pulliam. Pulliam with room. Gives it over to Henry Cook. His shot stopped by Joey Dasu, the Garnet goalie. And now racing upfield with it is Ethan Cleaver, the defenseman. And he'll join the attack here. And now he'll dump it off to Donahue for retreating back to defense. Now they'll get it over to Wilkins. Donahue again. Looking. Pause with it. Give it over to O'Donoghue. Moving in. Bounce shot will score. Found that open spot and fired it. They've burned Johnson with some bounce shots tonight. Those low shots have been his kryptonite so far. And now it's 6-2. Garnet starting to run away with this one. Conestoga got to come up with something pretty soon if they want to get some control back in this game.
Yeah, they're on a roll here. Garnet Valley scoring 2 goals already in this period. Conestoga remaining silent on the scoreboard in the second half so far, but again, a lot of room to work with. Not even halfway into the third quarter.
And now here's Gavin Rossello, and he will fire that one off the back wall of the stadium. But it'll be Garnet Valley ball. Rossello rushing in, looking for a pole goal off the dominant face-off win by Gold. But now we'll get right back to another Garnet cycle. Pass almost too high for Potachar. Now Matthew Pinot gives it over to Orr. Now they'll take it behind the net. Potachar, nice moves. Potachar getting Flesher off of him, but he was taken down. He was able to get it to Pinot, but good recovery there by Gunnar Flesher on defense to keep Potachar from getting another shot. Now Kraus. Moving in, pestered with a check, flag flies. Garnet gets the ball back. Potachar directing traffic here. Looking to set up their offense. Now he'll move in on Jackson Foster. faked the shot, gave it to Snyder. Now Kraus. Kraus moving in, over to Potichar, thought about a shot, and I'll give it right back to Kraus. And now Snyder. Snyder with a spin, firing, goes wide.
Looks like some subs coming onto the field, and I mentioned it earlier, stamina is going to come into play here as we get deeper into the second half. Whichever team can keep their energy the most will be able to exert more pressure, be more efficient on their possessions. And I think if Conestoga can get the advantage on that, they might have the opportunity to come back and win this.
So now Drew Donahue will restart play here for the Jags. Take it slow, passing around. Now O'Donoghue. Back to Donahue, down low. That shot off the helmet of the Conestoga defender. And now Mikey Johnson will scoop it up and bring it upfield for the Pioneers. He's got to be careful, way out of goal here. Coming up to midfield, Johnson past midfield, finally gives it to Liam Donovan. And big applause there for Johnson as he fought off checks, able to kickstart this offensive chance here for the Pioneers. Under 5 minutes to go in the quarter, they've got to score to get back in it. Now McGinn, he'll give it to Charlie Pulliam. He'll move it to the other side of the field. Check flying in there. Pulliam warned just in time, able to evade it. Now McGinn. Over to Pulliam. Pulliam driving in. Bounce shot saved by Dasu. Now the Jags will make another run upfield. Cam Willard with it. Now Potichar. That pass off the stick of O'Donoghue, but they get it back. And now it's taken behind the net by Orr. They'll get it over to Parker Williams. And now back with the usual three up top for the Jags. O'Donoghue moving in, firing, deflected off of Conestoga. And they'll have to keep playing defense. Garnet maintaining possession here.
I like the ambition from Garnet Valley, up by 4, but still looking for more.
That pass results in a ground ball. Conestoga trying to get away with it. Covered up by Johnson. And they'll get the ball back here. Good defensive stand there by the Pioneers. Able to get it back with enough time to mount another attack here in the quarter. Johnson again making a run upfield. He's not afraid to do that. And he'll give it to Gunnar Flesher, who gets it to Henry Cook. Now back to the X. Looks like offsides on Conestoga. Garnet gets it right back. Another offensive chance down the drain for the Pioneers. Long pass ahead to O'Donoghue. He'll slow things down now and make a run towards goal. Firing, big save by Johnson. Johnson having none of that. On a breakaway chance, able to make a big save and keep his team in it. And now Meyer rushing upfield. Meyer will fire, and that one will go bouncing over the net.
I mean, Conestoga has had some good plays getting the ball up towards the other side of the field, but none of their shots have connected just yet.
Here's Pulliam. Down low for Cook. Now back up top. Here's Brian Ford. Gives it back to Pulliam. He makes his move in. Shot. Saved by Dasu. Now the Jags move it back up the field with Billy Kraus. Whistle blows. Looks like we've got a timeout.
Hey, how you doing? What's up, man? Thanks for your help tonight. Yep.
And Toby,
No problem.
with under a minute to go in this quarter, Conestoga needs to start their comeback now. They need to start getting shots on target and keeping these Garnet offensive chances shorter. Garnet's spending a lot of time in Conestoga's side of the field. That's not a recipe for success if you're the Pioneers. What do they need to do to sort of flip this on its head and spend more time down in Garnet's side of the field?
I mean, it's a tricky situation to deal with because Garnet Valley is obviously such a strong team. It's hard to keep a lot of possession time against them. And at the same time, just with strategy, once they get down there, they want to keep it concise. They don't want to spend too long and chip away at the time, especially given the lead that they need to make up for. But at the same time, we don't want to waste those possessions. We want to make the most of it and wait for a good opportunity to pounce. So it's a balancing act. It's going to be tough, but it's still doable. We still have a minute left and then another quarter. Anything is possible for Conestoga, but they're going to have to switch gears if they want to overcome this Garnet Valley team.
They might have to start playing a little more aggressive on defense. They have let Garnet work the cycle a lot, not really giving them any trouble. And that's what's allowed them to keep it down in that side of the field for such a long time. And that guy, Mikey Johnson, doing his best to keep the Pioneers in this one, coming up with some huge saves. Garnet's had a lot more shots than Stoga here. And he's also helped out a bit on the offensive side, making some big runs upfield, some nice passes to get some chances started. And now the Jaguars with another offensive cycle here. Donahue playing more wide this time. Conestoga matching them. Donahue now decide to make a run. Gives it to Woolard. Woolard behind the net to Potachar. Potachar, nice move, lost the ball. Triple checked there, flag goes up. Foul on Conestoga. Garnet, keep the ball here. That's the aggression from Conestoga that they need, but they need to not commit the foul. Potachar will just run out the clock here on this third quarter. And with 1 quarter left, Conestoga with a big task ahead of them, needing to get 4 goals in this last frame in order to have a chance at winning. Toby, what's the number one thing the Pioneers have to change about their game right now?
I think it's not necessarily change, just really more focus on, I think. More focus on chemistry or just teamwork in general, as I said. Not that they're doing bad, but no matter how good your individual players are, if you guys cannot work together, which Conestoga has been doing super well against, but like obviously Garnet Valley is a super strong team, so if you want to go against them, you have to just have everything perfect. That's hard to do, but when you get down on offense, you have to have every play coordinated. You have to know what your teammates are going to do. Same with defense. You need to keep that formation. Conestoga has been doing extremely well in both of those fronts, but Garnet Valley has been putting up an equally strong performance. At the end of the day, I think there's, no one single thing that we can pinpoint here, but overall, I think this is definitely not going to be any easy task to come back.
And Stoga's defense not doing too bad in the goals department, but they haven't really had an easy time getting the ball back from Garnet. Garnet's been able to have a ton of control down in Conestoga's end, and then when Stoga brings it up to the other end of the field, they make mistakes, they get checked, and Garnet able to deal with their offense pretty easily.
Yeah, just 12 minutes left to play here. Garnet Valley looking to hold on to their lead and maybe chip away at the time this quarter.
And that's something they've been great at all game. Another face-off win for Ben Golt. Now O'Donoghue down low. He'll slow it down, giving it to Potachar up high. Now here's Kraus. Playing catch with Woolard. Kraus moves in, dumps it off to Woolard. Woolard curling over the top. Pestered there by Luke Meyer. Now they'll go behind the net. Pass. Potachar thought about the shot, and another deadly fake by Ethan Potachar as his second shot will hit the back of the net, making it 7-2. And that's not the start to the quarter the Pioneers wanted.
Yeah, again, Garnet Valley has been so successful with these shots. That was more of a mid-range, but still relatively far away from the crease as compared to what we've seen from Conestoga. And maybe they have to take a page from Garnet Valley's book, maybe take some wider shots, although risky, and it's, a tough decision to make, especially when you're trying to get the most out of every possession.
So now another face-off won by the Jaguars. McGinn pestering Golt off that face-off, but not able to win the ball back from him. So here they are again. Willard down low to Kraus. And they'll cycle it once again. Jackson Snyder taking his time with it up high. Now he'll move in, make a nice move, but he's slowed down enough and he'll have to dump it off to Kraus behind the net. Here's Potachar. Gives it to Matthew Pinot. Pinot's pass go out of bounds. I'll say tipped off Conestoga, so the Jags will keep the ball again. They've had so much possession advantage tonight, and that's what's allowed them to have this big lead. That pass nearly resulting in a goal, unable to connect, but a wide open net was there for Brandon Kraus had he received that pass cleanly. And now here's Wilkins giving off to Potachar. Now Williams Back to Pinot. Pinot moving in. Going all the way around. Gets to Kraus. Snyder just moving it in a circle. Potichar fended off by Gunnar Flesher. He'll pass it down low to Pinot. Pinot gets it over to, who is that? Ryan Wilkins. And he fires it past Johnson, making it 8-2. Garnet strengthening their hold on this one, and hopes of a comeback feel nearly impossible now for the Pioneers. Down 6 with under 9 minutes to go. They're gonna have to replicate what they did off that opening face-off here on this one if they want any chance of coming back.
Yeah, it looks like a timeout here, and Garnet Valley has been lethal from that mid-range as we've seen them take so many shots from. And again, I mean, Conestoga's defense has been putting up a great performance, a lot of good pressure, a lot of good saves, but Garnet Valley has just been putting up a great performance of their own. It's a lot to deal with.
And Conestoga has to keep some more possession here. They can't keep giving the ball back to the Jaguars. They're just going to keep extending this lead if they do.
Coming back to the face-off, and Conestoga needs to do something. You know, it's definitely gonna be no easy task to come back. Just at least as they put some points on the board, put some effort in. Hopefully Conestoga can, you know, put up a strong performance in these last under 10 minutes of the game.
And McGinn has been struggling to beat Ben Golt on these face-offs, and they're still wrestling for it at midfield. And it goes back towards the Conestoga goal, and now a pass up ahead to McGinn. McGinn over to Manifold. Manifold with a fake. Down low, now looking for a cutting man. That was Whit Lukens, and another turnover by the Pioneers. Now here's Brody Orr cutting in with a breakaway, and his shot was wide of the net. Sigh of relief there for Johnson. Now Garnet looking to eat up clock here with this possession. Conestoga's going to have to attack them and try to get the ball back, because as we've seen tonight, they're content to just pass around for minutes on end.
And rightfully so. I mean, they have the lead to justify in a decent safety net.
Great moves there by Brody Orr, but not enough to get past the defender, Meyer. And they'll cycle it again. Now ground ball, fought for, picked up by Flesher, making a run upfield. Flesher ducks under a check, fires, bouncing wide of the net. But Conestoga now with the chance for offense. And almost an unforced mistake down low by the Jaguars, giving the ball back to Conestoga. Donovan lost the ball, and now Garnet gets it right back. Now it'll go out of bounds off Garnet, Stoga's ball. Manifold running with it behind the net. Turns, reverses again, Gives it to Cook. Cook had some trouble collecting it. Gives it to Polium. Now here's Ford. Ford to McGinn. McGinn making a run, firing, eaten up by Dasu. Now taken up field by Cleaver, and he'll give it off to Pinot. Pinot with time and space finds Cam Woolard. He'll take it behind the goal again. Just gonna chew some clock. Under 6 minutes to play in the game. Here's O'Donohue. Makes his move, fires, saved by Johnson. That pass too tall for Polium, and Garnet will get it right back. And they'll take a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, possession has played such a big factor in this game so far, and I think overall, Garnet Valley has had the advantage. Just have spent a little more time with the ball, and I think that's something that Conestoga could work on. You know, making the most out of their possessions and keeping the ball with themselves could really help maximize their success in these last 5 minutes of the game.
Conestoga just got to fight to make this a closer game at this point. Going into next game with some momentum would be good for them. And Garnet just gonna have to keep doing what they've been doing all night, which is eat up clock on offense.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing so well, and recently they've really been using their patience, I think. There's obviously no rush for them. Up by 6 with only 5 minutes left. Conestoga will have to pull off a miracle if they're trying to get back the lead, but I think definitely putting some points on the board is doable. But yeah, overall great performance from Garnet Valley. Hopefully Conestoga can finish the game out strong. Gabe, what do you think are being said in these huddles right now?
I think Conestoga, they're talking about how to keep their possession. That's something they've struggled with tonight. Lots of turnovers, lots of ground balls, not winning many face-offs. And for Garnet, just keep chugging. They've been controlling the game all night, doing just about everything right. And it seems that they fixed their biggest defensive problem, which was giving up big rushes to Stoga. Stoga's attackmen have been hounded more when they've tried to rush in on goal. That's how they scored their 2 goals on some plays where they ran in and shot. Not so much the cycle that Garnet's been using. And Garnet's cleaned up their defense in that department, not letting Stoga have some open lanes. But now they'll go right back to offense. Podachar up to Donahue. Now he'll pass it to Brody Orr.
Wow, thanks, Lord.
Back to Donahue. He'll make a run. Give it to Podachar. Now Woolard lost the ball. Kicked ahead there by Stoga, but Garnet able to get to it first. and keep it away from the Pioneers. Another almost opportunity for Stoga taken away. Potichar with another lethal fake. He's scored a couple goals with those initial fake shots before firing it in. That time didn't get the second shot off. So now Johnson will bring it upfield for Stoga. That pass over the head of Pulliam. And Jaguars take over once again.
Yeah, just about 3 minutes left of play. Garnet Valley doing a really good job of just holding on to it, not letting Conestoga have much possession.
Here's Orr. Play catch up top. Kraus back to Orr. Orr's pass deflected by the defense. Conestoga comes away with it. Long pass ahead. Unable to connect on that one. And Garnet takes over again. Referee blows the whistle, giving the ball back to Conestoga. And that pass from Flesher, unable to be received by Hunter and Anacini. That pass intercepted, but Garnet able to get it right back. Now Aiden Delphin in the game for the first time. Back to Delphin. Now Orr will take it behind the goal. 1.5 minutes to go in this one. Garnet counting down the seconds towards their victory. Conestoga will definitely want to get one more goal before this game is over. Orr cutting in. Great move and a great shot and goal for the freshman Brody Orr as he makes it 9-2 Jaguars.
Yeah, nifty work there from Garnet Valley, able to secure themselves the 9th point. Looks like we're going to have a replay soon.
And here's the move from Orr. And just a great juke there.
Yeah, beautiful footwork, beautiful shot. Well-deserved 9th goal from Garnet Valley.
Face off here was won by Stoga, but they tripped up. Goal, so it'll be another possession for the Jaguars. So Snyder will bring it back behind the goal. Under a minute to go. Gives it to Potichar. Play catch with Snyder behind net. Excuse me, that's not Potichar, that's Delphin.
Less than half a minute left in play.
Pass it back up to the top. And now back down to Snyder. Delphin. Back up top. Back down low. 8 seconds to go. Garnet Valley take the win 9-2 here as the horn sounds. Toby, what was the story of this game? What allowed Garnet to run away with the victory?
I think it was really just their pressure and possessions. You know, they had the ball for so long, and the pressure they were able to exert on defense and offense, I think, was just a little overwhelming from Conestoga. Obviously, both teams put up a very strong performance, but Garnet Valley just performed better on the scoreboard.
And Conestoga takes a 9-2 loss here at home. For Toby Dieterle and all our crew here at TETV, I'm Gabe Eisenberg. Thank you for watching.